It is Friday, 17th February 2023. Many thanks for joining us on Prime News over My Media Prime TV. I am Eileen for presentation. The city of Douala saw the launch of a partnership between Nsungkikang telecommunications company and renowned Israeli communications satellite operator Spacecom. The partnership, it is said, will provide better and stronger telecom and satellite services to businesses and individuals in Cameroon. Julian Dambi was there and now tells us more.
As many businesses today in Cameroon in particular, and Africa in general, as well as individual day-to-day activities depend on internet connectivity, a telecommunications company, Nsungkikang, launched her partnership with renowned Israeli communications satellite operator Spacecom on Thursday, February 16, 2023.
Well, the partnership with Spacecom is to bring facility for connectivity in Cameroon. So the teleport that we are going to put in Cameroon today is to facilitate all the television channels in Cameroon to access satellite less cost. So we have this as clear proposition for the African community. Today we are having close to 50 channels on our teleport. So with our partner Spacecom, we want to push it for the next coming years, maybe for 100 and something channels.
The event, which took place in Douala, was attended by various telecommunications company executives who are partners with Nsungkikang and all eager to know how the new partnership deal with Spacecom will benefit their businesses. What is important for Spacecom today, and no matter where it is represented in the whole world, we need partnerships and solid ones who have started working on their own. This is 3 years today we have been working with Nsungkikang, and they have given us their trust. They are also invested in Cameroon so as to bring strong and dynamic solutions to other local TV stations in Cameroon. We thank him for that, and we will accompany him into new prospective markets. Also present at the event was the representative of the Minister of Communications, René Emmanuel Sadi, who appreciated the efforts of Nsungkikang in serving the communication needs of the Cameroonian public.
Quelque chose qu'il faut toujours encourager dès lors qu'on voit un opérateur du secteur de la communication.
It is always a good initiative which needs to be encouraged, because once we see an operator of a private media signing a contract with a prestigious and international operator, it marks a constant evolution for the local media, which proves that our market is dynamic and responsive in the audiovisual domain. It is also something we have to encourage. For the first time, to see a private operator having a teleport, so many other stations, TV stations, do not always need to go out of the country to get their teleplex. It is now an opportunity for them to get it locally, thanks to the new partnership signed today. The partnership between Nsungkikang and Spacecom has been highly applauded, as satellites play an essential role in our everyday lives. They support the economy, facilitate communications, ensure public safety and national defense, assist public health, or what the Nsungkikang company stands for.
Now, child trafficking has been signaled to be on the rise in the northwest region, with over 50 cases of child trafficking recorded within a month across the region. This was disclosed during a one-day consultation workshop organized by the Cameroon Human Rights Commission for the Northwest, working to increase the over 41 civil society organizations they are partnering with. Charles Kebwa reports from Bamenda.
The one-day consultation workshop organized by the Cameroon Human Rights Commission for the Northwest, working on increasing the over 41 civil society organizations they are partnering with human rights violation situation in the Northwest not getting better as there are more and more acts of human rights violation. During the workshop, report by human rights organizations in the region signal an increase of child trafficking in the crisis-hit Northwest, detailed that over 50 cases of child trafficking are recorded monthly across the region.
Handling such cases. Child trafficking in the Northwest is on the rise, but that notwithstanding,
it's on the rise. Tell us.
Record about 50 to 100. Yes, it's daily basis. Calls. If you go to our office presently, you will see cases.
Sanse Victor, regional branch head of the Cameroon Human Rights Commission, said the workshop is to create a contact list of resource persons working in different aspects of human rights prevention in all subdivisions and divisions. Explained, the commission has witnessed progress in limiting cases of torture in the Northwest.
At this workshop, we adopt an action plan on how to intervene on human rights violations while working in collaboration with these civil society organizations. It is also important for us to come up with a contact list, because that contact list will permit us to have information in the suburbs, in the local areas where human rights violations are mostly registered.
The Northwest region, faced with the socio-political crisis, people still being killed day in, day out, a violation of humanitarian law.
Laws of war, which you call Geneva Convention principles, that they definitely need to happen in, because they are guiding us that when you are into a warfare or whatever situation, make sure the civilian is not caught in. Then the non-combatants definitely should not be part of all of this. And so that's the message we're carrying on what we call international humanitarian law, IHR, to bring the lessons on board, both to the military and both to the non-military angles, to ensure that whatever they are engaging, they should know that the civilian population deserves to be protected and safe in that regard.
It is hope that with many of such advocacy, human rights violation in the Northwest region will be brought to its minimum.
Now, hours after the senior divisional officer for Meme Division visited a troubled spot in Mabonji, famous for separatist attacks and currently undergoing rehabilitation, a military convoy was hit at that same spot by alleged separatist fighters, leaving behind a lot of damages. Derek Jato was in Mabonji and now tells us more.
This particular spot in Mabonji, administrative authorities say is famous for separatist attacks.
You are fully aware that criminals used to use this particular place to attack those who are traveling to Boya and Kuma.
The numerous potholes here have been playing in favor of the separatists, and it is for that reason the government has engaged in the rehabilitation of this stretch.
That is why we see the Minister of Public Works who send money to us to work at this particular place.
The rehabilitation process is in progress, and the senior divisional officer for Meme Division is on an inspection visit where he lauded the pace.
Today, work is going on, and all of us can see it together. And very soon, everything is going to be okay.
2 hours later, a military convoy will be attacked at this same spot in Mabonji, leaving behind these damages. The military reinforcement that left Kumba for Mabonji unfortunately had an accident, killing a biker who was riding and a lady he carried. The bike riders in Kumba off their engines to protest for losing their colleague.
I will receive all una. I don't hear una worries.
The information filtered into the ears of Ali Anogo, the divisional officer for Kumba 1, who walked to the bikers for talks.
Now when I ride for protest, when our life matter, no be so? Yesterday, the military, they be hurry for intervene. You know, I don't see the other element where they hospital, no? So one day they don't already cut the hand. Where they hurry for intervene. One of the problems I say, when Okada see convoy, they know they care for leave road.
And advise them to always stay off the road. when and wherever they meet a convoy.
That's only work for Okada. When I see convoy for military, when there is signal, leave the route completely, 1 second not going to affect you.
Onto something else, the U.S. ambassador to Cameroon is on a working visa to the Minawao refugee camp in the far north region. Christopher John Lamore says the objective of his visit is to experience the realities of the Nigerian refugees at the camp. Joy Ngong recounts.
His Excellency Christopher John Lamora, U.S. Ambassador to Cameroon, has made contact with the over 70,000 Nigerian refugees at the Minawao camp in the far north region of Cameroon before visiting the site of humanitarian assistance projects that receive funding from the United States. The ambassador had a brief meeting with the representatives of the refugees. His Excellency Christopher John Lamora intends to get acquainted with the realities of the Nigerian refugees in Cameroon.
I am extraordinarily impressed by all of the work that UNHCR, the World Food Program, and their implementing partners are doing here at Minawao for the 75,000 Nigerian people who had to flee their country due to violence and insecurity. And I think it's commendable also to the government of Cameroon for so openly and warmly welcoming.
The American diplomat mentioned the benefits of the partnership between the U.S. government and the United Nations High Commission for Refugees.
The U.S. government has been supporting efforts to assist refugees around the world for decades, and here in Cameroon is no exception. Our partnership with UNHCR helps to support this camp as well as the refugees who are living outside of camp environments, and through the World Food Program, also many tons and tons of food every year that will help keep the refugees healthy and safe and fed for as long as they need.
Accompanied by the Senior Divisional Officer of Mayotanaga, the head of the United Nations High Commission for Refugees for Marwa, among other authorities, the ambassador made stops at the health center, registration center, and food distribution sites.
Over to Boya now. Antoinette Consor, who has spent 16 months and 16 nights at the Boya Central Prison, has been freed. She was released yesterday, a process that took over 18 months. Emmanuel C. was at the Boya Central Prison and now files on the following report.
Amen.
After a year and 4 months in jail, Antoinette Ngongso now smells fresh air of freedom, walking out of the 100-kilometer street of the Boya Central Prison with little Berinue, tears of joy as she hugs her husband and family members who have been waiting at the entrance of the Boya Central Prison gates. Antoinette celebrated God and her lawyers who have stood by her all these months in prison, and called on all Cameroonians to pray for the women in jail, which she says it's not an easy place to be.
The journey was so strong. Prison, please, my brothers and sisters, let us start praying hardly. I beg everybody, people should pray hard for our brothers and sisters. I beg all of you. Thank God. And when people are praying, people should include the women that are in prison. There are many of them in prison. We have many of us in prison, but I'm free right now.
Her release follows the court ruling on Wednesday, February 15, 2023, that found her guilty of not reporting terrorism, while fining her of 65,000 francs CFA and sentencing her to 16 months in prison, a jail time that she had already served in pre-trial. Barrister Ewuli, one of the legal minds of this case, narrated the process leading to her release and noted that it was not an easy case.
We thank God that everything worked well. They saw it that she was not a secessionist. We saw it that she was not a terrorist. But the only thing that the court saw was that she failed to report terrorism. And it's a misdemeanor, and she was given just 16 months in jail. It's a great victory, because the way it started, we knew that
she was going to either be serving a life imprisonment or a death penalty.
It should be noted here that Antoinette Ngongso was arrested and detained in October 2021 while she was 8 months pregnant for former having a relationship with a boy who later became a separatist fighter, now called General No Pity. The said lady is now free and back home.
Let's stay in Boya, where the governor of the Southwest region has called on councillors of the Regional Assembly to be present on the field so as to present concrete reports in their various divisions and subdivisions. Bernard Okalia Belai was speaking in Boya on Tuesday, February 14, 2023, during the first ordinary session of the Regional Assembly. Emanuela C. once again reports.
The first ordinary session for the Regional Assembly has taken place, devoted to look at the activities of the state in the region, as well as the situation of the Southwest region. According to statistics presented by the Regional Assembly's president, these earmarked projects have been executed, but Governor Bernard Okalabilai says there is still a problem of follow-up by the councillors.
We still have a problem of follow-up because some of the representatives of the population who are the regional councillor, they don't follow their project. It's only when the project has been already realized that they start quarreling among themselves that the project were not well done, the project would have been located somewhere than the other side. So we are advising the councillors to be on the field at the beginning when the project are being executed, so that they should follow. If there is a problem to rectify, we rectify on the field. But for the state is intervening in all the 6 divisions and in the 31 subdivisions.
An atmosphere to present what the Southwest Regional Assembly has done for the year 2022. Zacchaeus Bakuma Lango noted that over 50 projects have been executed out of the 57 projects that were earmarked, with others ongoing. He called on contractors of Southwest origin to come up and join hands in developing the region.
I, as project owner, my greatest joy is that the project should be realized. So, but if we earmark a project in the budget and at the end of the year report to you that the project was not realized, then there's a problem somewhere. In Wabane, the construction of the maternity block in Wabane, which I announced that I'm going to cancel the contract because the contractor is not serious. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to contractors of Southwest origin to help us develop the Southwest region.
The year 2023 is pregnant with a lot of other projects as the president seeks to follow deadlines, and by November, he hopes that all the projects will be executed.
On to this feature story. Oftentimes, most women get pregnant out of will or as a result of either ignorance or negligence, a situation that can be properly managed since science has made it possible to control unwanted pregnancies via birth control methods. Colette Loom spoke with a midwife who expatiated on some of the methods of birth control and how to go about it. Take a listen.
Conceptive device that is placed in the uterus, and it is in the form of a T-shape, plastic in nature. It is a non-hormonal method and will last for 5 to 10 years. It is what we call the long-lasting method. And so this one is being done by women that have already had the desired number of children that they want to have, and then they want to limit it. This method is 99%, it has just 1% failure rate, which means that it is very, very effective.
And this will solve the problem of many mothers accidentally getting pregnant as they term it, and many end up having more kids than the desired amount and cannot afford to take care of these kids, especially with increased prices of everything. Whereas there is an escape route to this worry known as family planning. Family planning is the consideration of the number of children a person wishes to have going by Advanced Learner's Dictionary. And to go about family planning, There are some birth control methods involved. With natural methods?
For the natural, I will advise the women to go in for the calendar method, the basal body temperature method, coitus interruptus method, and even the lactational amenorrhea method. For the basal body temperature method, the woman monitors her body temperature from the day she starts menstruating. When she stops menstruating, she still monitors it 3 days after she stops menstruating. And the point where the temperature is increasing by 0.1 degrees Celsius, she is supposed to know that at that point she's ovulating and she shouldn't have anything to do with sexual intercourse.
Regarding artificial ways of not falling prey to unwanted pregnancies?
Contraceptive device that is placed in the uterus. You need to be very neat, you need to put up good hygiene and sanitation while using this method.
Science has made it easy for mothers with the help of fathers to get just the desired amount of kids.
Man is actually supposed to be part of the decision of family planning.
And in a situation where the husband is not interested in supporting the wife, go in for any birth control method?
In some cases, we have some men who are very adamant, they don't want their women to go into family planning, but then the woman keeps getting pregnant. And this thing falls on the woman. When the man doesn't want the woman to go in for a family planning method, I think the woman should take that bold step to go in for that method.
A word to a wise is sufficient. Therefore, no mother should blame anyone in case they get pregnant the moment they do not want to.
You're welcome back. The launch of the 24th edition of the International Mother Tongue Day took place in Bafoussam, chief town of the West region of Cameroon. The event is aimed at inviting parents to teach their mother tongue to their children back at home. Catherine Ekongwe completes that story.
The ceremony to launch activities marking the celebration of the 24th International Mother Tongue Day in Bafoussam West region aimed at inviting parents to teach the mother tongue to their children at home. The event was graced with the presence of the Secretary of State to the Minister of Basic Education, Vivian Eshiri-Kilo, and other administrative authorities who appreciated the cultural and linguistic richness of Cameroon.
There are 5 languages that are being taught in our schools. We have some experimental schools where these languages are being taught. Those of you who were present at the ceremony, you witnessed the children speaking in many of the diverse languages in Cameroon. This just goes to express the beauty in the diversity that we have in this country. Cameroon is a blessed country, and we should use this diversity to unite each other rather than separate.
She added that the mayors will work in close collaboration with school heads to ensure that these languages are taught in schools.
First of all, with decentralization, the mayors are closely tied into this project. The mayors will ensure that the schools are running smoothly and that these languages within the vicinity are taught in their schools. We also have the international community. We have UNICEF, which has always stood by us. We have UNESCO, which actually carries this project. We also have other stakeholders who work with us throughout. And we want to end by thanking our head of state because he is the one promoter of this one and indivisible Cameroon. And one of the ways by which we maintain our indivisibility is to accept other languages, to accept other cultures, and make sure that we hail these cultures as Cameroonian culture.
The 24th edition of the International Mother Tongue Day will be celebrated on February 21st, 2023 under the theme Multilingual Education, a necessity to transform education. Several activities mark the event such as singing, sketches, dancing, just to name but these, performed in the mother tongue by the students.
Let's now talk health. Dr. Manahoda Malashi, Cameroon's Minister of Public Health, has hailed health personnel in Twi Central region of Cameroon for their resilience in the fight against epilepsy in the Twi Health District. He was speaking during commemorative activities to mark the 2023 International Day for the Fight Against Epilepsy recently. Details right ahead.
On the event to mark the 8th International Day for the Fight Against Epilepsy recently, the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manahoda Malashi, presided over the event in Twi, Mbam Ekim Division of the Central Region of Cameroon at the Ntui City Hall. Note that in Cameroon, accurate statistics on the disease are not yet available, yet the disease is very prevalent, especially in rural areas. However, chronic frequent neurological pathology, which can develop at all ages of life, from infant to adult age, epilepsy is a group of various epileptic diseases of varying severity depending on several parameters which are responsible for the cause of the crisis, their nature, their frequency, and response to epileptic treatments. The boss of the health sector used the opportunity to congratulate the health soldiers who are investing in the fight against epilepsy, a health condition that remains a taboo, ignored, and unknown by many in the country. Thus, the need for continuous sensitization to help in combating the rejection and stigma often experienced by patients and their loved ones. As a tradition during his work sessions, the health boss then visited some health training centers in Ntui, including the Catholic Health Center and the Ntui District Hospital. At the Catholic Health Center in Ntui, currently monitoring 5,328 people living with epilepsy, Dr. Manahuda Malashi had an exchange with epileptic patients and reiterated government's promise to support the health center with an annual grant of 5 million francs CFA. Meanwhile, at the Ntui District Hospital, the Minister of Public Health promised to provide the health training center with an ambulance upon his return to Yaoundé.
Onto something else, ahead of the renewal of federal executives for the Cameroon Federation of Nambudo, Professor Justine Difo is on a campaign tour in the Adamawa region to present her vision and prospects as future President. Naivona with details.
It was with great joy and delight that the team of Nambudo in the Adamawa region of Cameroon received Professor Justine Difo, candidate contesting for the post of president of the Cameroon Federation of Nambudo in the Adamawa region.
We thank the Professor Maître Madame Difo, who comes very far away from the south. She traveled very far to come and celebrate this moment. Is a great moment for us so that Nambudo can revive, Nambudo can survive also, because it's long time we don't meet again, we don't follow our ambition, follow our dream. So we are very glad. It's been a long time that I never pushed myself like this. So we expect that in the next few days we have elections that are coming, another win we come inside the Nambudo Federation.
After her tour in the far north and north regions of Cameroon, Professor Difo made her next stop in Gaoundéré to reactivate Nambudo and present her vision and prospects as she campaigns for the post of president of FECA Nambudo.
It's quite a long time that I was here. In 1995, we were at Lakdo, Kuseri, Marwa, Gaoundéré, Garwa, and today we just noticed that since 5 years, no activity in these 3 regions. Reason why involving human being in the heart, at the center of our strategy, we decided to get downtown, to come deep in the region, and to talk with people, to practice with them, to come down with them, to talk with them, and to evaluate and to design the new Nambudo they want us to put down for the next 2 years. That is why we are here today, and we hope that the Adamawa region will vote for us at the end of 21st of September as the new president of the Nambudo Federation in Cameroon.
To this young trainee, Nambudo is a good sporting activity and should be promoted.
I practice Nambudo because Nambudo is a very good sport that when you're marching in the road, if somebody wants to attack you, you should know how to defend yourself.
The gymnastic expert has been awarded several medals in recognition to her hard work and contributions to the enhancement of Nambudo. She therefore believes that through the people's vote, she can, as the president of FECA Nambudo, revive the sector and give the sport a new face.
On passe toujours par la jambe qui est au sol. 1 et on détend.
Back to this health story. The month of February is observed as the International Prenatal Infection Prevention Month. The health campaign is a worldwide observance aiming at promoting awareness of common infections transmitted from mother to baby during childbirth, which can lead to health complications like stillbirth and more. Bokengo Uwadi tells us more.
Bladder infections, urinary tract infections, flu, syphilis, rubella, yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, group B streptococci, herpes, HIV and AIDS, Zika virus, E. coli, fifth disease, hepatitis B, toxoplasmosis and more as some severe and life-threatening maternal infections that occur during pregnancy. These infections over time increases the risks of many different maternal health complications like low birth weight, stillbirth, miscarriage, brain injury, fetal growth restriction, preterm labor, and more, caused by pre-pregnancy medical complications like obesity, heart disease, poor immune system, high blood pressure, blood clots, being pregnant with twins or triplets, poor health habits, smoking and alcohol consumption during pregnancy, being over 40 years old, gestational diabetes amongst others. Data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention states prenatal maternal infection causes serious complications for mother such as urinary tract infection, hypertensive disorder, postpartum hemorrhage, decreased immunity, toxoplasma, amniotic fluid abnormalities, and many more. Bearing signs including diarrhea, sore throat, mouth sores, shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, fever, chills, abnormal vaginal discharge, and more. The maternal health condition takes the life of an estimated 800,000 babies yearly and about 810 women dying every year. With prenatal infections being the major cause of maternal mortality and morbidity worldwide, the month of February is set aside to help raise awareness regarding the health complications and hazards borne by the maternal health condition, encouraging pregnant women to eat healthy, maintain good and proper hygiene, avoid contacts with persons who have any kind of infection, especially that which is being transmitted, especially that which is highly transmissible, choose healthy lifestyle choices, get tested and vaccinated for sexually transmitted infection and diseases, as well as make antenatal care visits a priority during pregnancy in a bid to reduce global prevalence of prenatal infection worldwide.
Now, sports news. Cameroon's Lionesses will tomorrow face Thailand in the playoffs of the FIFA Women's World Cup in search of a ticket to the grand competition scheduled for July and August this year. Details on this story and other striking sports story with Magdala Eyong-Bisong in the following report.
The Intercontinental Playoff opens in New Zealand with the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon vying for one of the three spots remaining at the 2023 FIFA World Cup. The girls of coach Gabriel Zabo, who are now complete in New Zealand, go head-to-head with Asian quarter-finalist Thailand on Saturday at the Waikato Stadium in Hamilton. Cameroon entered this mini-tournament by failing to reach the last four in the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco, falling to Nigeria 1-0 in the quarter-final phase of the competition. A narrow 1-0 win over Botswana rekindled hopes of another World Cup participation. The team is hoping to make a third appearance in this World Showpiece, which will be hosted by Australia and New Zealand. Currently ranked 58 on the FIFA ranking, this 2019 Women's World Cup participant is the least ranked team in their group. However, the quality of players at the disposal of coach Zabo gives them a slight edge over their Saturday opponent, Thailand. Thailand, just like Cameroon, has been to the World Cup twice. And after failing to advance beyond Japan in the Asian Cup playoff, Thailand's fate has to be decided through another playoff, and that is against Cameroon. The winner of this fixture meets Portugal on Wednesday. Away from that, match day 7 of the Guinness Super League has been scheduled to run this weekend in stadia across the national territory. The top match of the encounter, known as the Guinness Cup, will be staged at the Ngwaikele Stadium tomorrow Saturday and will pit Amazon Fab versus Eddingfields. Ngado FFA will go against Loaf Mimprov at the Stade Ndumbe Omar Ngaoundere Stadium, and Cayman Ladies of Douala will go against RS Fortuna. This game will be staged at the Bepanda Annex Reunification Stadium in Douala. Eclair of Sa will host Authentic Ladies at the Annex Stadium Olembe, and the RS Awa Steel to take on Lekki FFO and leaders of the classification table still at the Olembe Annex Stadium in Yaoundé. Equally, Elite 1 and 2 fixtures have been programmed to run this weekend. Games will be staged on Saturday and Sunday. And as it stands, Northwest Sides Rangers FC of Bafut and Foncho Street FC of Bamenda have recorded wins in their day 14 games of the Elite 2 Championship.
It is on that sports note that we call it quit on today's edition of Prime News over My Media Prime TV. Thank you very much for viewing, and thank you for staying with us throughout the week. The news was produced by Nolinga Eli Ewane. I have been Sama Eileen for presentation, and it was compiled by Programs Director Lasha Kingsley. Stay tuned to more programs coming up tonight. Up next is Prime Hour with Kum Leonard and his team. Bye for now. Happy weekend.
From the director of the films, The Face I Never Saw,